So I will say good evening to all of our friends in Australia, though it's good morning here in Jerusalem. And where our guest lecturer today, Sharon, is in Tel Aviv. I'm very happy that you're all here. And what we're trying to do with these with different webinars and educational content and gatherings is to fulfill our mission of the WPJ, and that is the work of the Center for Education and Leadership Development to connect, to be connected to each other, to connect all of us to good ideas and resources, and to bring things which can support your communities and your organizations, and to be a source of new ideas, and to think together about new ideas that can bring our communities forward. So the WPJ, we have a tradition of spending time at the Ani Museum, and I know that Peter and Daniel, with the UPJ mission that took place in May, we spent time at the Ani Museum. Philip, David, have you been to the Ani Museum? It's the new Beit HaTfutzot, Museum of the Diaspora.
I don't believe so.
To the old one.
The old one, okay. So week first, when the museum first opened, we brought our first leadership seminar in, and I think pretty much every group we brought back there, and we really see a lot in common in the mission of the WPJ and the Ani Museum, being the museum of the Jewish people, that we really speak to what it means to be Jewish around the world, and with Israel as a very prominent part, might we even say Israel in the center. And so we recently, in my past few visits to the Ani Museum, experienced a very powerful exhibit commemorating October 7th. It is powerful, but I would say 2/3 of it is very palatable. It's something that it can really be brought to a wide audience and bring a lot of thought, but not be, I think, too much for most people. So we wanted to bring this to the world, as the Ani Museum has a capsule for bringing this exhibit to your communities. This is, I think, an innovative idea that we would like to see if people want to explore. It allows a lot of educational opportunities. First of all, to help us understand what is happening in Israel, to empower our discussion about Jewish values. For example, Kol Israel Araviv Ze Lezeh, all Israel is responsible for one another, our responsibility to bear witness. It speaks to our value of progressive Zionism, which includes education, and expressing solidarity with the suffering of our brothers and sisters in Israel. Certainly those who are on a mission know what I'm talking about, coming and viewing and meeting people. And even just recently, when we brought our Global Leadership Fellowship, the latest rendition of what was the Butel Community Leader Seminar, that just a month ago, we brought people here. We volunteered at Ofakim. We met survivors of the slaughter there in Jerusalem. We met with residents of northern border communities who are still living in hotels in Jerusalem. And it was very moving and important to meet with them. Zionism is about understanding the actions of the government in Israel and the surge of civic responsibility, and being educated in our own places so that we can offer our own thoughts and suggestions respectfully and with love for the state of Israel. This exhibit offers the opportunity for tikkun olam, as we consider what is, let's say, Mechemet Tzedek. When is the time to take up arms, and when is it time to put them down? How does what happened October 7th challenge our eternal pursuit of peace? And how does it fit in with our universal view of the world as Reform and progressive Jews, as we grapple with what it means and how do we live our belief in human rights? This exhibit offers opportunities for interfaith dialogue, and perhaps holding it in non-Jewish spaces or secular spaces, or inviting non-Jews to come into this space. This exhibit empowers our sense of community, how our community serves an ideological home for progressive Jewish values. Is this an exhibit we would hold in a space in our synagogue buildings? How do we empower our youth leadership to take part in this exhibit, to have become an educational tool for them, or even give them a voice, how this exhibit is set up in our community space? And finally, this exhibit can connect with our value of our seeking of the divine. And I'm sure all of us have asked the question at one point in the past year plus, where is God in the face of this horrible tragedy and in war? And serious theological questions that we should grapple with and not run away from. This is can be a sacred space. This is a space of creation, a space where of mourning, and perhaps it can be a space of healing. Could we bring prayer to this space? Or can what we do in this space, what we see here, inspire us to enrich our prayer in our traditional prayer spaces, or even to write new prayers and Jewish texts? So that to give you a little background about why we thought this was important, how this exhibit and sharing this information reflects our progressive Jewish values. And I'm very pleased to introduce to you one of the lead educators at the Anna Museum, Sharon Hayat, who is going to explain about the exhibit, walk through its content, and to share how it can be set up in your communities. David, thank you for your comment. I appreciate that as well. And maybe it affirmed you, maybe in a sense what happened affirmed, it could affirm our sense that there is no God for those of us who are atheists, and that certainly is a legitimate response. So without further ado, Sharon, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Casey. Hello, everybody. So glad to be with you today. The first thing I want to do is, we're talking about this exhibit from the Anna Museum of the Jewish People here in Tel Aviv. Let me take you there and show you the exhibit so you have an idea of where we're starting, what we're talking about, and then we'll go forward. Okay, can everybody see my screen okay? I'm going to assume that's a yes. Okay, so we are going to be talking about the October 7th capsule exhibit and the online tour that the Anna Museum of the Jewish People is offering. October 7th is the most recent exhibit at our museum. It was supposed to close in December. It will be open until February of 2025. After that, it's going to be going to different Jewish museums throughout the world. And the idea was, we felt that this display was very important, and it shouldn't just be available to people here in Israel that can come to the gallery and see it. So what we did is we created a capsule exhibit. What that means is we took the gallery and we made it into a way that we can share with everybody. But let's do this. Let's take a couple minutes and walk through the gallery and experience what I'm talking about here at the museum. So enjoy.
בשקט יש יותר מקום לתת למחשבות לרוץ, ולא בטוח שאוכל לא לפחד כלל, לא לפחד כלל. בדממת על חוט נושם
So what you just saw is just a quick 2-minute clip about what you see when you come to the museum in our gallery. This clip you can find on our website, and it is in 360. So when you play the clip, you can actually walk around the gallery yourself, and stop at photos, do close-ups and everything you would do on a 360 tour. The gallery here is built on 3 pillars. The first pillar is the art, what you saw on the walls, also digitally around the gallery. The second pillar is the playlist. That was the music that you heard playing in the background. And the third part of it is the video, Idut Mikomit, or War Diary. The art, there's 25 artists that are featured throughout the gallery. This QR code will take you directly to our site and to the film that we just saw. Some of the artists created their works before October 7th. Some created them after October 7th. Some of the artists are no longer with us. Either they passed away October 7th, were murdered during the attacks, or were soldiers that were killed in action afterwards. The art is a way for us to talk about what happened in a way that everybody can connect on their own. Art is a very personal connection, and everybody looks at the art and takes away their own meaning, their own connection to it. And that's one of the reasons that we used art. The second part of the gallery, which is meant to be an integral part that goes hand in hand with the art, is the playlist. It's called the Pain Front, and it is offered for free on Spotify. The QR code in front of you will take you directly to Spotify. You can download Spotify for free. You can download the playlist for free. You can play it anywhere, anytime. The amazing thing about artists and post-October 7th is it was really musicians who were some of the first people that came to the front and filled a need in funerals, hospitals, before soldiers were going in, school children, evacuees. They were really the first ones that met the closest involved with what was happening with October 7th. And they had a really fundamental role in what happened. So we're really proud to be able to bring music as part of this exhibition. The third part of the exhibition, the third pillar, is the video. The video is from a group called Idut Mikomit, and the QR code that I have here will take you directly to the video. The video is a 23-minute video. It's made up entirely of photographs from journalists, from newspapers, from the news. There is nothing that wouldn't be on public television, but it is very, very difficult to sit there and watch all 23 minutes. It is very emotional. There are very difficult scenes in the video, and we'll talk a little bit about ways to use this in your capsule exhibits. The October 7th capsule display is us taking this entire gallery, the 3 pillars, the artwork, the soundtrack, and the video, and making it something that you can display wherever you are. We are offering this at absolutely no cost. We only ask that you fill out a form, and then I will send you all the PDFs that are ready for printing. All you do is take it and print it and hang it wherever you are. There's actually 2 options of capsules that are available. The original capsule is 43 panels. It will go over sizes and everything in a minute. It takes about 35 meters of wall space. And we had a lot of people that said we don't have the wall space. So we also created a condensed capsule, which is about 19 panels and only takes about 16 meters of wall space. So both of those options are available to you. And truth be told, I usually mail them both out because sometimes people, when they start to figure out their wall space, they see they have more room, less room. So I usually send actually both out. But just so you know that there is the availability of 2 sizes. With either capsule, you're sent specifications that will explain everything to you about how to print it, how to hang it, and it's going to be like what you see in front of you. We're going to show you what sizes to print. The optimal print size is 23.62 inches by 23.62 inches. I don't know why printing houses, they do it in inches, according to what I've understood. There are different options on how to print it. direct UV printing, on MDF, on Perspex, on aluminum panel, and we wrote at the bottom, high quality standard printing. In a minute, we're going to look at some of the other places that have hung the capsule so you can get a better idea of what that means. Some people print it on the aluminum panel. Of course, that's more money. Some people print it on paper. It still looks great. We give you instructions on how to mount it. Again, these are suggestions, and I'm going to show you why I say these are suggestions. We're also going to show you the height that we suggest that you hang it, and the order, and I'll show you the full capsule. When we give you the full capsule, we request that you put it in the order that we give you. Now, of course, your space is going to dictate this order a little bit, but the pictures flow one to another with the explanations next to the artist's work. And you'll go through and you'll see all 43 panels, how we suggest you hang it. Now, the condensed capsule, you'll see the differences right away. We also give you specifications on how to hang it. You can see that a lot of times we've taken the artwork and put it on the same panel with the explanations. Sometimes we have two works on the same panel. That's how we shrunk it down from 43 to 19 panels. So you can see it's much shorter, the condensed. Now, it's kind of hard to explain what we're talking about with the panel, so let me show you some pictures. This is an installation actually that was done in Australia. And I'm going to blow this up. I know it gets blurry when I blow it up, but I want you to look at how they did it. They simply took wires, hung wires, and using the black paper clips, they clipped the white paper onto the wires. It came out beautifully. And I want to show you this particularly because it is printed on regular paper. They used paper clips. So this does not have to be an expensive hanging process. A lot of places have used easels. These are very inexpensive. You can buy them at places like IKEA, and they come out beautifully. Some were installations that were for a while, other were for conferences. A group in Argentina had a frame in their building, and they used the frame to hang the pieces. Other organizations have simply double-sided sticky taped the capsule to windows. We had a hanging in Poland. This is actually an old synagogue in Warsaw that they didn't have enough wall space. You can see it better here. So what they did is they built these sort of two-sided panels that they stood in the middle of the room to get the wall space they needed. We've had Hillels at universities across the world that have done very creative ways of hanging it. This Hillel simply placed the panel boards on top of the wainscoting that went around the room, and with the non-stick, it's like it looks like chewing gum, used chewing gum. It's this blue foam stick that doesn't peel paint. They use that on the back of the pictures, leaned them on the wainscoting, and I think it came out beautiful. Another example I wanted to show you is from the Arc. This is in Northwest London, and what they did is similar to what the Hillel did. They used the dimensions of the room and the wainscoting that they had to hang it on the wall. What I want us to really pay attention to is the last slide, and this is showing the playlist as well as the video. There's a couple options on how to show the video. I think that the gallery and the playlist are age appropriate for everyone. It's art. There is nothing questionable in the art. I think it can be shown to children, to general public without a problem. The video is a little bit heavy. I will tell you from my experience working here at the museum, where I'm at the gallery every day, I will not go into the gallery during my workday because it's too hard for me to pull myself together afterwards. The video is very, very strong, which leaves us two options on how to show the film. The first option is simply to put the panels, and what you see in front of you on the left is the panel from the full capsule, and on the right is the panel from the condensed capsule. And you'll see at the bottom there is a QR code, and you can allow your visitors to scan that and open the 23-minute video on their personal devices. And that's a great way to be able to offer the video without having it, too much in your face. The other option is broadcasting the video. In Poland and in England, they used simply a television monitor that they hooked it up, and you can see that it's on, you can see the laptop right next to it. So not a very complicated situation. This is a Hillel that they simply broadcast it using an overhead projector, and it was broadcast throughout the showing of the capsule. Now, there's a third option. This is by no means what we expect, but I did want to show you what one group did when they showed the capsule. And this is a film that walks you through how they set up the capsule exhibit. And they really did it almost exactly like we have it at the museum, which is just incredible. You'll see they have a special viewing booth, and then they had a table with the sign-in book, which I think is fabulous, because then you know who has visited your space and can have contact with them after. And then you see they put the art. This is the full capsule. They put it around the room. And you can just see, how they hung it and the different pieces of art that are included in the capsule and how they look when they're printed out. And they really come out very beautifully when they're printed. This booth you keep seeing in the middle, this is how they chose to deal with the Idut Mikomit, the war diary film. You'll see there are other QR codes. When I send you information, there are some diaries that some artists did where you can download the entire diary and see every day what the picture was on those days. This is Idan Ro'i, some of our artists. This piece in front of you is actually in our lobby. This is one of the flowers is one of the few pieces of, it's, I think, the cream of the capsule gallery, because it actually talks about hope. And this, now we're going to go in, is actually how they dealt with the film. They created a small viewing booth, and people could sit down and watch the video, Idut Mikomit, as it was running. So they really did a spectacular job. And I don't want anybody to think that, this is what you have to do. So what do you have to do to get the capsule? It's really simple. All we ask you to do is fill out a form, and this QR will take you directly to the form, or you can email me and I will send you the form. The reason we have you fill out the form is as follows. We need you to agree to the terms and conditions. These terms and conditions are for the artist's rights. They say that there can be no changes whatsoever in either content or design to the files. No visual or textual information can be added or displayed that is not in the exhibit. All the exhibition files must be printed in accordance with the original dimensions that we tell you. Of course, it says high standard quality printing, and you can do with that as you need. The files are intended for the sole purpose of the production of the exhibition. That means you can't transfer them to a third party or display them somewhere else not related to the capsule. No logos can be added to the capsule. And we do ask that after you hang the capsule, you just send us some pictures of it, so that the next time I make this presentation, I can show the amazing work that your capsule, how it looked and where it was. Let's go back for a second. So this capsule is offered 100% for free. All we ask is that you fill out that form, and I will send you all the PDFs to take to your local printing. There is a second option with the capsule, that we offer online tours of the gallery. The tours are a paid-for product. The tours are $250 US for groups, $150 US for educational institutions, your Sunday schools, your lunch and learns, whatever you would consider an educational institution. We do offer it for less. The tours are between 45 minutes to an hour, depending on questions. We do suggest it for ages 16 and up, because we will show 7 minutes of the Idut Mikomit, and then we go through the gallery. And a lot of the online tours that we do at the museum, there's a lot of music, there's a lot of talking, we have live guides, and we try to make it fun and engaging. This tour is a little bit different. We try to let you experience the gallery as it was meant to be experienced. We try to show the art and have the music play, and we try not to talk over that. We give you information about the art, the artists, and then we give time to look at the art, experience the playlist, and then we move on. So that is also available. If you want information on the online tours, this is the QR code, or again, you can just email me and I will get all that information to you. That brings me to the absolute end of my presentation. I'm working very hard to keep this short and sweet. In front of you, you have a QR code or my email address, and I'll send it in chat as well. The form, if you want to receive it directly, you can just fill out that form and I will get it out to you. I'm a little backed up. Normally, I like to say I get it out within 48 hours, but I still have some people from Thursday that I haven't gotten it out to yet. I wasn't in the office yesterday, but I'm usually pretty quick. So this is my information. So if you guys are interested, I would love to get that out to you. The best part about this is I'm not selling anything. I don't have to say, please, do the buy. Anybody who wants it, it is available for you for free, and I'm more than happy to get it out to you.